Welcome back to the channel. Today's gonna be a little bit different because we are not eating, we are gonna be working out. I'm gonna take you through a full chest workout that's gonna help you grow. Coming from somebody who grew their chest from this to now this. These are things that you'll be able to implement into your next workout. And I promise you, if you continuously do them and you're consistent with it, there's no choice but to grow. Let's just get into it. I don't want to keep you guys too long. We're going to start with an incline movement, which you should be starting your chest workouts with because the upper chest is something that is neglected in most people's chest workouts. And you notice that they have a very underdeveloped upper chest, but they have a very well-developed mid and lower chest. Since that's the case, we're going to make sure that we put emphasis on the upper chest. And that is why we're starting with an incline movement. Now, here's the thing. There's two different inclines you can do. 15 degrees. 15 degrees is a great movement. It gets 1 thumbs up. But in my opinion, 30 degrees is a better angle for your upper chest. So that gets 2 thumbs up. We are starting with a 30-degree angle incline bench press. Since this is the first movement, there is going to be warm-up sets. For me, I normally do anywhere from 2 to about 4 warm-up sets before I get into any actual heavy working sets. Now, please, I do not want to hear that too many warm-up sets is going to be detrimental to your working sets, because if you don't do enough warm-up sets, that'll also be detrimental to your working sets. If you're not warm enough to go into heavier weight, you're risking injury, and weight that might feel good for you on a normal day will feel heavier because you just jumped straight into heavy weight. So make sure that you're doing your warm-up sets. You don't even have to do that many reps. Make sure that you're increasing the weight and you're feeling the weight as you go through it, so that when you do pick up the heavier weight, you are ready for it and your body knows what's coming. Once you finish your warm-up sets, you're going to get into your working sets. Now, the working sets is where the chest will actually grow. You only need 2 working sets if you're taking your working sets as close as you can or to failure. So for the working sets, it's going to be anywhere from 6 to 10 reps. The first set, you should probably get closer to the 10 reps. The second set, maybe closer to the 6 reps. If you do need a spotter, make sure that you have one, because that is so detrimental and super important. If you feel safer, you will be able to lift better. And if you lift better, you will be able to make more gains. Now, we're gonna do 1 back off set to get a little bit more volume in the chest, so you're gonna decrease the weight. For easy numbers, if I'm doing my working sets at 100 pounds, I'm gonna decrease the weight to 65 to 70 pounds. This one is gonna be anywhere from 10 to 15 reps. This is where you really can control the weight and make sure that you're getting good reps. Now, before we get into the first mistake that majority of people are making, let me talk about shoulder pain. I always get questions from you guys asking why you have shoulder pain when you're doing dumbbell bench press. I can't tell you this is the exact reason, but I do notice for myself, it has helped. When your elbows are at a very wide angle from your body, so about 90 degrees from your body, it will put more stress on your shoulders because it isn't the most natural range of motion. You want to bring your elbow down to about a 45-degree angle so your arm path is in a more natural moving state. Ever since I switched up my arm path, I've been able to get stronger and feel more comfortable moving heavier weight. Shoulder pain is not an issue anymore for me. Now, the first mistake I notice a lot of people do on any workout, but especially chest, is ego lift. Ego lifting will not get you where you want to be. What do I mean by ego lifting? I mean doing half reps. Half reps are the enemy to gains, not partial reps, half reps. Especially when you're hitting chest, the most important part of a chest movement is the stretch at the bottom of the movement. That is where your chest will actually grow. If you are only going from the top of the movement to halfway down, you're getting no activation in your chest to actually grow. What I notice a lot of times is people go way too heavy with weight, and they will only allow themselves to go halfway down because they do not feel comfortable enough to go through a full range of motion with that weight. Now, the issue with that is, 1, you won't grow, and the second issue is that injury is a big part of this. At some point, the weight that you choose will be way too heavy that it will take you through a full range of motion even if you don't want to. This is where you risk injury and not being able to control the weight back up. If you notice yourself doing this, take the ego out of it, because I promise it's better to look like you lift heavier weight than actually lifting heavier weight. Decrease the weight and make sure that you're getting good full reps. As soon as you feel strong enough with that weight, now you can start increasing the weight. I promise you, you will be stronger, and the strength will actually mean something because you are actually strong in a full range of motion. Now, if you don't really enjoy dumbbell incline bench, or you don't have a spotter and you want to make sure that you're going heavy and taking things as close as you can to failure, you can always substitute it with a Smith machine incline bench or an incline chest press machine. Which brings me into the second exercise, which is going to be a chest press machine. This one is going to imitate more of a flat bench. The path that it would take you through is the path that you would get from doing a dumbbell flat bench. The reason I like to do machine work more is because I can control the weight, and it allows a lot more stability than dumbbells. This one is going to be 2 to 3 working sets, anywhere from 8 to 12 reps. With a movement like this, you also want to make sure that you're getting full range of motion and that you're controlling the weight. The second biggest mistake I see is people doing speed reps, not allowing themselves to actually go through a movement properly because they are trying to get as many many reps as they possibly can. It's always said quality is better than quantity. You have to really do a deep dive into your lifts and be completely honest with yourself. Ask yourself, are you allowing your ego to take over? Because if you are, you need to take your ego out of it completely. Now, if you don't have a plate loaded chest press machine, you can always switch it for a lying plate loaded chest press machine, a regular chest press machine that isn't plate loaded, or you can set up a bench in front of a cable machine and do cable chest press. So far, we need to make sure that we're getting full range of motion and that we are controlling the weight with a good speed. Now we're gonna get into some accessory work. This is where we're gonna add some sets and reps. The first one being a high to low cable fly. This one is going to work your lower chest. I do think this is the most ideal one to actually get the most activation for your lower chest. And this one, it's gonna be 3 to 4 working sets, anywhere from 10 to 15 reps. Just because this is an accessory movement does not mean that we forget about what we just talked about. You need to make sure that you're getting full range of motion as well as controlling the weight. When doing accessory work, it's super easy to get out of control, go super fast with your reps. Make sure that you have good tempo. This is a movement that is a lot safer to take to failure, so make sure that you're getting as close as you can or to failure, because that is where growth will actually happen. Now the last movement is going to be a pec deck fly machine, and this one is going to work your overall chest. For this one, it's going to be 3 to 4 working sets, anywhere from 10 to 12 reps. The pec deck machine is in 90% of gyms, but if you do not have this one and you have a cable machine, you can always substitute it for a mid cable fly. Set your cables up at around chest height and do the same motion that you would do for a pec deck machine. And that is all you need. I told you guys that this video was going to be extremely quick. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to get good reps, making sure that you're going through a full range of motion, making sure that you're choosing weight that you can control and handle and safely go as close as you can or to failure. Remember, if you need a spotter, don't be afraid to ask somebody in the gym or ask one of your friends to spot you. It is better to be safe than sorry. Make sure that you're always doing things properly, that you have good form. If you have any specific questions, leave them down in the comments. I will make a more in-depth video on chest growth, but for now, start with that. I hope you're having a great day whenever you're watching this, wherever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.